is just also timeless in addition to that. And so...
No, that's
I don't
fair.
know. Like, we'll see if I still feel that way about the Droog record, but it's just, like, literally everything I like about rap music, even though he's insulting me the entire time. Like, there's literally one track, he starts it off, real hip-hop heads, I can't stand y'all, and then it's a minute and a half of him just insulting us. Like, I heard your grandma got an OnlyFans.
Oh, my God.
Hello.
I just cannot believe. Well, you just missed Patrick saying your old Drew just says our grandma has an OnlyFans. So
What? Oh.
Sup, Chops, how you doing?
Living off borrowed time, the clock ticks faster. Living off borrowed time, the clock ticks faster. Living off borrowed time. The clock tick faster. Living off borrowed time. The clock tick faster. Living off borrowed time. The clock tick faster. Living off borrowed time. The clock ticks faster. Living off borrowed time. The clock ticks faster. Living off borrowed time. The clock ticks
We're living off borrowed time, and we're going to talk right now. Our guest is One Chops, RYM legend. We're going to talk about the worst. We have a lot to talk about in this episode. The first thing we're going to talk about is worst female rap alter egos. I'm going to nominate Nas Scarlet.
I don't. My nominee was what was the Memphis rapper who had the alter ego and the name was like. Hold on, I'm gonna dig this up now because I think the name was God damn it, I'm forgetting. there's
I know
a
what you're talking about. Is
no, there's a I listened to it this year. I remember exactly what it was.
There was a by the way, Viper did have a recurring theme in his mixtapes of only filtering 10 to 143, but there was Kill Yourself, End Your Life Stupid, You Ugly Big Nose Dude, You Are an Idiot. Like, you are an imbecile. Like, Viper definitely had like a recurring theme of just insulting that guy. Telling Viper to not do his thing.
Did you see the one RYM list where someone put them all together into like a story? I might have to link it. It's interesting.
Wait, who? Which?
You ugly. Yeah, I think actually Viper himself does that. Now that I unfiltered it, you ugly boy, End Your Life Stupid, fuck your record label pussy, you ugly big nose dude, I'm greater than you, use a snitch, you are below me, are you really that stupid? Then he goes on the police, fuck the police,
fuck the
pussy police, you can't be that stupid, fuck the police, and then again we kind of repeat ourselves. God bless rap, fuck hip hop. That's bold stance from Viper.
I will say the artist was Lady B is the pseudonym. The conspiracy is that Lady B is actually Kingpin Skinny Pimp, and he was like kind of like cosplaying as her on a couple of mixtapes. However, that is very, very fuzzy history. I think.
See, I think
it's more canon that. It's more canon that she is her own person and Kingpin Skinny Pimp is not playing her.
I think the Scarlet thing is the worst because Nas cannot character act to save his life. And he was trying to do like an AIDS message thing as Scarlet, as a woman dying of AIDS on Streets Disciple. Shout out to our best listener, whose name is on the Nas album. But yeah, no, if you listen to it, there's like a suite where Nas acts as a woman who dies of AIDS. And he teaches us all a lesson about AIDS in 2004. And it's as good as you would expect.
Can I just say, I missed the Nas episode. I had it, but I lost it, and I want that back.
You're not getting it back. Somebody.
Yeah, I don't know if it exists anymore.
Lost media, no. Damn it.
Yeah.
I want that.
Lost media. We don't need it, do we?
It's like all those. It's like all those songs that immediately get deleted from SoundCloud after the
It's
artist.
like Juicy J's Fuck Atlantic Records or Fuck Columbia Records.
Fuck Columbia Records.
Fuck every record label.
Dude, they had to call them up and be like, "Look, we're gonna like look."
Told the tweet. They're all good.
Oh yeah. See, you know what? I almost put that on my end of year list, but then I thought about that tweet and I was like, no.
I want to say
kind of ruins the song a little bit.
Also, Chops, aka the Chad Simp, aka the Chimp. I
didn't come up with that. But
I just want to say your cover photo is incredible.
What is it? I forget.
No, I've seen that advertisement so many times in the course of my
Really, it's not just you and the several other people that said that. That's like an actual thing.
That's a real thing. I've seen that ad so many times, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I'm doing on the internet. I could be looking at RYM. I could be looking at I don't know, clothes. I could be doing anything, and there's just sports. It doesn't matter what I'm doing on the internet. That ad shows up.
Yeah, my question to you is: would you rock it if you could?
Would you? That show? I mean, it's tough because the guy rocking it, he has an inverted stomach, so I can't really compare.
It's not the average man.
Right, I can't make a one-to-one. I can't hit him up and be like, "Hey, is this true size? Does this fit big? How does it?"
I don't know. Make a the lowercase S. They really don't.
No. No.
Viper has a mixtape called "Cops Are Losers."
we stand. We stand.
Viper also has a mixtape called "My Yellow Girlfriend," and the cover is Isabel from Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Oh my god,
dude, this is the biggest fucking nerd on the internet.
What?
I've been operating under the theory that Viper's account has been handled by somebody who isn't Viper since the late 2000s. That somebody just has a bunch of Viper acapellas. This dude went in the studio from 2006 to 2009 and Gucci style, just lived in the studio, recorded 1,000 things. And then somebody's just been kind of just taken off of this for 15 years now and just memeing videos. Because you listen to the songs that are on YouTube with these meme titles, the content of the songs has nothing to do with the titles. It's just generic, mumble, sort of melodic, not bad or anything, but the beats vary, the beats are way more incongruous, so that's just kind of a funny meme thing sort of thing to do, where it's I created the Wuhan coronavirus and I want to do a trance beat and then just have this southern guy kind of essentially ramble over it. Yeah.
I created the Wuhan coronavirus over a trance beat. That's got to be the mission statement of the show right now.
I mean, that is actually a Viper song. I created the Wuhan coronavirus.
The virus, yeah.
There is a Viper mixtape called "It'd Be Heaven If Cops Were Voluntary Drafted and Not Hired." And also, you've got to see the you've got to see the cover art.
I'm looking for it right now.
Mixtape or wait?
It's a mixtape. It's a mixtape. It's got a 5 from 3 ratings. No.
Pretty sure if I type in "voluntary" at the top, it'll. Yeah, here we go.
Voluntarily drafted and not hired. Yes, it's somebody's graphic design was their passion when they made this.
This is an incredible cover art.
I don't get the politics of this title. This confuses me.
I guess it's
I don't get the difference.
If they were drafted, they'd feel more of an obligation, or it would just be more just at random based upon human nature, as opposed to hired based upon somebody who wants to do it.
Well, that would maybe. Can I just say?
I don't know if it would be heaven on earth. It would still probably be terrible. None of these people. No, we shouldn't have cops. Abolish the police.
These Viper these Viper titles are very much just created in an alternate universe.
It's an algorithm that's it's a sputtering, failing algorithm.
So. Right. It puts random words together, and that's the title of the album.
Can I just say? I think this voluntary drafted album might have a protective charm on it because it's saying a 5 stars, but 2 of the 3 ratings opposed to 0.5. So I think something's happening here.
Task force.
Now, however, if we click on those accounts, which I have not, but hypothetically, if you click on those accounts and their highest rating is like 2 stars, then they don't count. They're not real accounts.
Yeah, I mean, they might be constantly weighted. Shout out to Sell Me a God.
This is a topic that we have discussed. We believe that in the new update, if you have nothing rated above like 4 stars, your account should just be deleted from RYM.
I mean, your account shouldn't be deleted. They've already covered this and just de-weighted you, which I think is a good use of de-weighting, actually.
Yeah, because I do have a problem with people who do that. It kind of, because when you rate stuff by like lesser known artists or like friends, then it kind of fucks them over. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
when people see like,
I mean, just sorry to cut you off. I understand the methodology behind a positively weighted system, but for what RYM is trying to do overall in the database, it doesn't work. So you should be de-weighted. And in your own personal canon and for your friends, that might work. Like a Sell Me a God 3 stars probably has a lot of weight to people who look at Sell Me a God as like an authority on stuff. But that 3 stars or all of his half stars shouldn't be dragging down stuff where he's like a half star is still a 1.5 or a 2 or a 2.5. Like this is also the most niche, nerd, boring math shit we've ever talked about on this podcast. And I completely apologize to anybody. This is worse than my Charles Hamilton shit.
Yeah, I like it. Do you guys do a Charles Hamilton episode?
I want to.
It kind of got.
I want to listen to it.
I will say, Patrick's Charles Hamilton pursuits did kind of get derailed like a few months ago. Like they fizzled out.
First of all, I lost my Charles Hamilton plug, but I might find it again now that I have a good laptop. And second, my inspiration for that was the Year of the Seltzer on Knowledge Fight. Shout out to Knowledge Fight, one of my favorite podcasts. And they stopped doing that recurring segment, so I kind of lost my inspiration to a recurring segment. But it'll still come back. Don't worry. I have not. Like the thing is, he has like 600 unique albums. They're not Viper albums because these Viper albums, if you look at them, they have great titles, but if you actually listen to them, mostly the same songs.
Yeah, they're the same songs.
Are you serious? He has that many?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has that many albums, but he doesn't have that many songs.
Oh, right. I mean, Charles, like, I didn't know Charles had that many.
Oh, no. He legitimately has, like, 600 albums.
Wow. I've heard one of 600. And I don't know if I said in the chat, but that one, which is Well Isn't This Awkward, is really, really, like, fascinating. And I'm going to probably listen to it a lot more.
That's a pretty good one. Yeah, like, he is all over the map. Some of his shit, unlistenable. Some of it, great. Like...
That's what I'm getting from these averages.
Yeah.
Okay, 54 mixtapes.
But Charles Hamilton did not make cloud rap, and what we're going to discuss on this episode is something Viper did make, is cloud rap.
Yes.
A genre that may have fallen out of like popular fashion, but I think has actually had a powerful influence, and may not have actually fallen out of fashion as much. Like, even though it's not like the primary genre anymore, like I think everything's kind of thrown under this like incongruous trap umbrella. I think cloud rap from the turn of the decade 2009, 2010 through 2012, that scene was powerfully influential.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's even continued to today, where it's not necessarily as prevalent in the mainstream context, but it has dominated.
Well, I mean, I would
in underground sphere
context, in that you don't get Post Malone without cloud rap.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and even you could even say, we'll get into it way later, but I mean, you know, Playboi Carti's mixtapes and albums are just as much cloud rap inspired or
I feel
under
like,
the umbrella as
grand finale of this is going to be Carti. Like, I feel like Carti.
Sure, yeah, and I'm just putting that out there.
Carti and Malone are probably the two big sort of like the destinations of where this started at. But Chops, you're our guest. You're an expert on Makami and cloud rap, as are all our guests are experts on Makami, by the way. So, do you want to kind of give us your history on cloud rap and how you came to it, and who your favorite artists are, and where you think it started?
I might be the one that came to this whole genre like latest out of all three of us. I pretty sure I did all my research in like 2015, when I thought I'd finally catch up to whatever this Lil B guy was actually all about. And I was obsessed for a little while, kind of still am. It's a genre I sometimes find kind of fascinating. Fascinating, but also kind of frustrating, because at times there can be kind of like a gulf between like amazing, like incredible beats and sometimes not a whole lot going on the mic, sadly. Not in the sense that everything has to be like traditionally like technical perfect, but just like sometimes stuff is just lacking despite that. But it's, I don't know, cloud rap is just something I always like find myself like inexplicably like seeking out, even when I like just find myself like seeking out a lot when I'm looking for something to listen for. I don't know, it's always,
I mean, I feel like the general aesthetic of it is very appealing. Like, I would say that
like Catnip, yeah.
You're the latest to come to it. I rejected Lil B at first, so when you say cloud rap, like, I mean, I eventually came to like Lil B, but I would say that cloud rap stuff that I liked at first was probably 808s and Dark Grapes Part 2.
Wow.
Was real, because that came out through the Mishka NYC imprint, which also came out with a lot of really influential stuff from like Mayhem Lauren. And actually, I think that if you talk about cloud rap, the two songs that really would be influential, resonant with people, are Lil B's I'm God. And is that the one with the Imogen Heap sample?
Oh, yep. There's like 5 or 6 with the
there's a
they're all
bunch
the Clams
of
ones that are all from the same fucking Imogen Heap sample, but like I'm God, and the other one is Harry Fraud, Action Bronson, and oh god, fuck my life, Riff Raff.
Enemy of the podcast.
Yeah, he's an enemy of the podcast. He can't listen to it. He knows that.
I mean, I really don't care about Riff Raff, but Patrick vehemently despises Riff Raff.
But he's been part of a lot of good music, which is why I despise him, because I feel like there's a really good Jeff Weiss piece that everybody should read about why Jody High Roller is a culture vulture and a bad person. Like, but the thing is, he got on board with Harry Fraud before anyone else did, more or less, and he knows good music. And on Bird on a Wire, he sounds good. And Bird on a Wire is one of the best songs ever. Like, something about that song is just super narcotic. And I think Fraud is one of the producers that you have to think about. Like, you think about Clams, like Friend Zone, obviously. And Fraud, I think, is one you need to bring up, too.
Yeah. For sure. Just to establish, Patrick, you've been following hip hop since before the time cloud rap kind of originated.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of gone into my origin story on the podcast several times. I think the best one to listen to for anybody who's coming to this to just hear where I came to hip hop from would probably be the recent Roots episode, which is shamefully under-listened to. Like, a million people listen to the Makami episode, and they're like, "Oh man, Knowledge didn't do a beat on that. I'm gonna downvote that." Like, suck my dick. But fucking y'all should listen to the fucking Roots episode, because we go into a lot of good detail about good music, and I kind of explain where I came to hip hop from on that episode, which is very stereotypical of a white boy, I know, but still, I've been listening to hip hop kind of more or less devotedly since about 2002, 2003, and I've been reading about it on the internet since about 2006. So when cloud rap broke in about 2009, I would say I'm pretty privy to it. Although
you were like
2009, although in 2009 I lived in a place where I didn't actually have internet access because I was living in someone's basement. So when it actually started breaking out, I was kind of deaf to what was initially happening. But yeah, when the main attraction stuff happened, Lil B broke. The thing about when Lil B broke, it wasn't about him being cloud rap necessarily, even though I'm God was a great song and everything. It was more about the fact that this dude couldn't rap and he was funny and he put out funny videos. That was what got him attention.
It's funny you say broke, because I saw a video of, do you know Zach Fox?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Zach Fox was saying he was talking about
Zach Fox. Yeah, I know Zach Fox.
Yeah, from Vice.
Zach Fox. I'm sorry. Yeah. I know.
Sorry, it's the accent. So yeah, I remember him saying that
we got to ban people with accents from this show.
Yeah.
He was saying that Lil B basically broke rap, like literally fucking like shattered it like with a hammer, and I would agree. He said that like
I've seen the exact video that you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a great video. But he said how everyone else like kind of it was up to a lot of other people like pick up the pieces and rearrange it in different ways from there. And it sure seems that way to me from the vantage point of someone who wasn't around at that time, I guess.
Lil B pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah.
There was a real hip hop head I worked with at the time, and he got really mad when Lil B got popular. He's like, "Yo, this dude don't even know how to rap. He looks like a faggot." Sorry, that's what he said.
Jeez.
But, yeah, but that's the kind of pushback he got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still kind of does in some ways, some circles.
Some of it, but I don't know. I feel like this is a weird take I'm gonna have. Lil B has passed his point of relevancy, and I don't mean that.
Yes,
that's not a weird thing. That's kind of that's a pretty safe.
He can still put out. Yeah, I mean, he can still put out quality music. However, that music is only resonating with his core fans at this point.
Yeah, I feel like Lil B's actual point of relevance was like 2008, 2009 to 2014 or so, and then after that, it's kind of him preaching to the choir.
I think it peaked around Black Ken, or it
Black
hit its final peak
around Black. So that was like the climax of it essentially.
Yeah.
And I think Black Ken's excellent. I think Black Ken's kind of a synthesis of everything he was doing, with also the weird like Latina thing.
Yeah. Well, that album is like a masterclass in like doing a number of different genres around a time when a lot of people were trying to do multiple genres out of their comfort zone and like not succeeding.
I mean, I think what Lil B's biggest accomplishment overall was first of all using the internet to reach people, and second of all, kind of being unself-conscious about yourself in a way where it seemed like you were being ironically self-conscious about yourself, but really you're kind of individually being yourself ultimately.
Yeah. I think that is, I don't know, something kind of valuable to bring to people in a way, because it's just, I don't know, it results in a lot of fun.
Because he started out with like, the pack and with all the hyphy shit, and like that was uniquely Bay Area, and then he did all of the Rain in England and all the Dior paint, all that stuff, which no one else was ever doing, like the spoken word type stuff. That was the birth of bass. He came up with a whole term. He came up with a whole thing that was bastardized and stolen from him. Yeah, he did all that, and then I don't know. He's done a lot, and I mean, the thing we want to talk about for the specific episode, I guess, is God's Father. Although I think that like I'm God and Birth of Rap are the ones that are really like the cloud rap masterpieces.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can't have this episode without talking about those. Definitely.
And those songs were so. I mean, even alongside other songs, which I guess we'll talk about Clams too. But like those songs, like were so huge in terms of changing minds, like literally changing perceptions of what hip hop could be. I feel like.
Yeah, that way for me. I mean, I don't listen to Birth of Rap pretty much any at all anymore, but it definitely changed something up in my cerebral matter when I first heard it. That sounds stupid, but it's true. Whatever, I don't care. If I'm going to talk about Lil B, I get sappy.
Definitely not the dumbest thing I've ever said on this podcast.
I still listen to Birth of Rap, like, I mean, not like all the time.
I mean, I think Birth of Rap and Death of Rap and
Death of Rap is
another
insane.
One in there too. Like it was like Birth of Rap and was it Life? Like it's a trilogy. There's another one in there.
Is Death of Rap the best like spoken intro to any rap song? When he's like, "Fuck the world, I'm God."
No, the best spoken word intro to any song is "I am hip hop rawest rapper alive" on T-shirt and buttons. T-shirt and buttons. This is a fucking warning shot. You little balls, I'll leave your jaw dropped.
Jesus. That song is literally like that as a diss track is like getting playground bullied really hard, and that's all it is, but it's still really fun to listen to.
Well, I mean,
that's a
playground diss too.
Gave Joe Budden a swirly.
The thing about it is, it's a playground diss from a
stuff.
dude that got playground bullied. So he's turning it around. And Joe Budden, you just got murdered by a pretty bitch. Tell the whole world.
He did?
Facts.
Wow. Impeccable.
Go drink your fucking jug of Simply Lemonade and cry about it on your fucking podcast.
Go dish out lukewarm takes with Simply Lemonade.
Rap Joe Rogan, man. Rap Joe Rogan experience. I hope that's a fulfilling life for you. May
I make a very quick interjection?
Mm-hmm.
Since we were talking about this a little bit earlier, I may as well mention the fake Whole Lotta Red has in fact apparently dropped.
The fake Whole Lotta Red, the Mario Judah Whole Lotta Red.
Yeah. Oh no, not the whole thing. Sorry, someone just messaged me like in all caps saying, "Oh, he dropped." I thought they meant Carti, and I was about to say this is not.
Imagine if Carti drops Whole Lotta Red while we're recording.
Man,
but it was
you don't know.
Mario Judah dropped a single.
It's a single. Sorry to put things on hold for a single from fake Whole Lotta Red.
Dude, that's so funny.
Yeah. Anyway,
but yeah, Lil B, like, the thing about it was, at first I was just like, this dude's a clown, and I was like, he's funny, and I was like, he makes good music, and then, because he put out, like, and yeah, I feel like Lil B kind of took, the thing about it was the whole super prolific internet, and it was pre-internet, because Keith did this before anybody, and then Madlib did it, kind of fence sitting when the internet was half a thing, like he did it, Doom did it, like, but Lil B just kind of put it on performance enhancing drugs, where he was
we got to be fair to Soulja Boy
like
too.
Releasing track after, like, he wasn't doing Viper things where he was just repackaging old shit. He was literally putting out new material, and whether or not you thought this material was worthy or not, that's on you. But it was literally new material every tape. And he definitely got more ambitious with it, too. Like, there are legitimately artistic, ambitious Lil B tapes out there.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. There's,
absolutely.
It's kind of frustrating because people talk about, like, the whole huge amount of stuff he puts out as, like, a good thing. I kind of feel it's mixed because it's such a deluge that it's fucking hard to get someone into his music. It's hard enough anyway, but it's even harder the fact that you've got to, like, almost, like, you need to, like, give someone, like, a playlist or something. I almost feel like
it's kind of, I mean, yes, it is frustrating, but I'd rather that than something like, I don't know, Tool, where it's like, well, if you don't like 4 albums, then you're shit out of luck. Whereas with Lil B, where it's like he's doing 20 albums and 20 styles, you might like one of them. And then if you like one of them, then the other thing that didn't look so appealing to you, you like something about this one, maybe you'll find something to like in this other one.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how I've come to like so many artists. And that's what's great about RYM too, is that it's led me to so many artists that I wouldn't think I would like just based upon like a feature credit by the way RYM is set up. So
100%.
Shouts to RYM on that.
Yeah, so true. We the chronology of this, we jumped in with Lil B, but there's a couple things before that it might be worth going back to just to touch on briefly.
Right.
Something way back in the early 2000s, I want to say. A little compilation known as Cloud Dead by Cloud Dead.
Oh, God damn it. No.
Hey, I just want to say, if we're not doing it, I just want to say this album would be like a masterpiece if I didn't speak the English language. Like, if I couldn't
have a high enough IQ.
If I had a bigger brain, or I didn't know the pretentious things they were saying, I'd be like, this is 5 stars. But sadly,
I mean, shout out to Battered Sphinx right now, who is probably, once he hears this, throwing his iPhone against the wall, being like, God damn it, you said you'd wait to do the Anacon episode.
Yeah,
okay. Punching air as he's...
Okay, that's fair. We've got a really good reason not to touch on it, but
yeah, it's
I think we can touch on it. It's not going to ruin.
Yeah, it's trash. We can touch on it because it's trash. Because I'm touching on it as I put it in the trash can. Because
the beats, though,
it's boring. But the beats are cool.
Yeah, see?
Okay, the thing about, all right, you know what? I'm going to go into depth as to why Cloud Dead doesn't work. Cloud Dead doesn't work because it's trying to marry a style that doesn't work to another style that is completely incongruous in a way. All right, Lil B did it on Rain in England where he was trying to do it as poetry. That worked.
Yeah.
They were trying to do it as hard rapping, which doesn't work.
Yeah,
You can't battle rap over ambient.
It could have turned out a lot worse than how it did, I feel like. But
I debate that it could turn out much worse.
fair enough.
It's pretty trash, man. It's pretty trash. Fuck you, Sphinx.
It's okay, I will say it is most definitively backpacker hip hop.
Is it definitively
you used the word? You used the word.
Yeah, I'm using a dirty buzzword, which I don't even really like to use. I'm saying I'm being provocative.
You just said that because Moo Kid said it.
Wow! Imagine taking Moo Kid review seriously, bro. Come on, get out of here.
I only take the 5-star Moo Kid for you seriously because those are the only ones where he actually swipes his hand right.
When I see the black metal ones, I assume he's accurate. Even though I'm not going to listen to any of those albums.
That's just, I mean, look, man, I don't know. I remember, here's the thing. I said this, I just had this conversation on the Michigan episode that I did this weekend, but I remember liking this comp, but I haven't listened to it since I was in high school, so I have no idea.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's been years.
I don't know. I feel like, okay, I'll be more charitable to Cloud Dead in that I feel like I appreciate what they were going for, but ultimately their approach was wrong in that you can't battle rap over ambient. I think that actually, as cruel as I was, if you read my reviews of the Lil B, like super based early like poetry stuff, I'm not kind to it. But that's the better way to approach that. Like from a spoken word aspect as opposed to trying to battle rap over that sort of stuff.
It makes more logical sense, yeah, I guess. Well, there's another.
Who's ever battle rapped over ambient? I mean, maybe like Billy Woods could.
Billy Woods would rip that. You could argue. I was gonna say you could argue Rock Marciano might just because he already raps.
Rock Marciano. Like I've actually been like because I prepared for a different episode for Rock Marciano can rap over like anything in almost the same way Black Thought can. Like they both kind of adapt their same flow to whatever you give them and make it work. They kind of bend the beat to their will, which is weird because cloud rap is more about the beat bending you to the beat's will.
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
You have to be versatile to be able to do some of the weird cloud beats that exist. Like I'm trying to think of who's like a versatile rapper who's done cloud. Like, did Danny ever do cloud shit? He hopped on a Squatter beat.
Yeah. Attractions. He cloud.
Yeah.
Great fucking song.
Him and Squatter did like a favor back and forth because Squatter did I Will and Danny hopped on Cloud Game.
By the way, my work has done this new wacky thing where they like take away all our benefits, but they have us have a playlist. As long as we make it clean or whatever, we can listen to like uplift anthems when we go into our shitty job that doesn't pay us to work holidays anymore. And so I was thinking that I was going to put I Will on the playlist for the morning.
That would be
a wake fire for anything. It's going to be playing Danny Brown I Will. At 6 a.m. in the morning.
You're just like, who's this guy yapping over the fucking speaker? What?
Lick. What? What the fuck? Put that pussy on my beard. What did he just say?
Who's this guy on the radio who's talking about house? That's my horrible Danny Brown impression. Hey, Wyatt, if you want to edit that out, feel free.
Wyatt doesn't edit anything he doesn't have to.
Yeah, he's gonna leave that in there. He's gonna let you roast yourself.
Oh no! The whole world has to hear my awful Danny Brown impression. Ugh.
Give him enough rope is the LOBT anthem.
Yeah.
Seriously, for real.
Well, now you've got me thinking though. Is there like what's like a Danny Brown song you could get on that playlist? Like one that's clean enough.
Grown Up has a clean version.
Oh, what about Float On?
Does he swear on Float On?
It's a good question. I don't remember.
That's a perfect song. It's
a
become a
perfect song.
downer to throw on at the beginning of the morning, but it's a great song. And I don't.
As I say, that would be a little of a downer.
I don't know. Like this dude threw on "In the End" by Linkin Park, and I'm like, this is a
There was-
song about killing yourself, sung by a suicide victim, and sent it in the morning. How are we supposed to get hyped to this?
Were you at your computer like, I tried so hard?
God, so
Fist
full.
pumping.
It was truly
Patrick
my December.
was just typing like, no, no, no.
How do you type
Actually,
that?
one of my friends from work said that they were playing Evanescence, and I got really mad because like, this isn't Evanescence. God damn it.
Dude, that's some weak selection at the job. Damn, you got to deal with
Dude,
Evanescence at 7
I don't
a.m.
know. They were, what the fuck were they? They were playing early Beasties earlier this week. And this one dude who's really creepy on the fourth left was getting in to Fight for Your Right to Party. That was funny.
That's not a clean song. He says porn in it.
Best porno. Oh, he was like doing like air kicks, like he was in the pit. It was really weird.
Jesus.
Wait,
You got some sweet
I
color.
I like the random aside when you're like, yeah, he's really creepy, but
Oh no, he's super creepy, dude. His eyes are like void, like fucking like that's like the Watchmen. The void stares back.
Oh, yeah. But it all disappears when Beastie Boys comes on.
Oh, no, it didn't disappear. He just kept like he pretended he was in an imaginary mosh pit. It was still creepy, but it was funny that he actually seemed like this is his approximation of joy. So,
what a weird thing to be doing, like fucking air kicks and fist pumps, dude.
what a weird thing to be doing, trying to make a warehouse turn into a Carnival Cruise Line by playing fucking playlists at 6 a.m. Just let us do our jobs. Fuck you.
Yeah, send him over here to the UK. We love doing fun stuff in warehouses. We have like huge parties in warehouses over here.
We
that
love
I
doing
don't
fun
go
stuff
to.
in warehouses too, like getting COVID.
That was
We love doing fun stuff here in America, like getting COVID.
We have COVID as well.
Not as much.
it's true.
Catch
Not
up.
as
Not
much.
far off. We're like the second
Did you
worst
see
in the world.
you guys see that like Australia is doing music festivals again? Like they've had no COVID for like 8 months.
Thank God.
Really?
They've had no COVID for like 8 months or something like that. Like or no cases. They've had no cases like in some of these like counties for like 8 months.
This whole thing has like lasted 8 months. Like,
Well, I mean they probably it's been a little longer than that.
fair
Meanwhile,
enough.
here it's gotten worse.
Yeah, it's gotten worse.
Same here.
I mean, no, you guys actually had periods where you contained it. We had no containment periods. We just had periods where the media suppressed it. So, yeah, by the way, Andrew Cuomo's getting an Emmy for his press conferences.
They were?
God.
No, look it up. Because he created characters and a narrative for his COVID press conferences.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, wow.
Welcome to the worst timeline.
Yeah.
Wait, that is how I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, no, it's like a special award Emmy for being horrible, I guess.
It's a special award Emmy for telling people of color to go fuck themselves as they get murdered by the police.
I mean, you know, if they don't get murdered by the police, they'll die in a homeless shelter from COVID.
So, they had no
laughing.
choice. They had no choice but to be exposed to because we're idiots.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah.
God damn it.
Hey.
God damn it.
It always gets bleak on the podcast. It always gets,
It gets really bleak. It never got bleaker than when I made the joke about Nancy Pelosi slitting or breaking an American bald eagle's neck when Lucy was on, and she got really uncomfortable.
She was like, I thought we were talking about DJ Screw.
Shout out Lucy.
Yeah, shout out to Lucy. We love you. DJ Screw Part 2 coming up next Screw Day. But we got
shout out
many
to Lucy.
tapes to cover.
Yeah, shout out to Lucy the RM and shout out to Lucy the awesome singer who rules.
Facts.
And you did a little bit of cloud rap, so it's relevant.
And shout out to Horb. I won't dox you again.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow. Just what a retelling of events. What a sequence.
All right. We should probably talk about the topic of the episode.
Right, we've been off topic for a good 10 minutes. It's been great.
Wait, real quick. Do either of you guys have much to say about the famous Viper album? Y'all cowards don't even smoke.
I like Hiram Clark Hustler better. I think Viper has a great rap voice. I think that he's kind of in the same vein as like a Devin almost, except he doesn't have like the lyrical inclinations of a Devin, but he has like a really good melodic flow. He knows what he sounds good over. Like his early shit, like those first few Viper albums are genuinely good and they sound great screwed.
Yeah. All I can say is this album has an unhealthy amount of bass. Like seriously, probably some of the most bass I've heard in any album. Like it's just like bulbous. It's physically ginormous.
Yeah.
And you know what else is cartoonish? The beautiful melodies in the production, which I'm very happy exists. And also, I just like to say, I was in the city one time that I lived in previously, and I saw the album title for this album sprawled across the subway at the side of the graffiti. So there are people out there just like us. That's all I'm saying.
Wait.
Well, as
was it like
on the 912 project, we surround you.
Yeah.
What?
Thankfully, that's the only Viper album title I've seen in public, so that's something good, I think.
At least it wasn't "Kill Yourself," my man.
Yeah, that would just be.
That'd be really disheartening.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But yeah, in terms of I'm actually going to bring up the RYM Cloud Rap chart so we can have kind of a chronology to this. Some sort of like basic structure to this episode that I feel like I personally have taken entirely off of the charts. Entirely off of the rails.
If you haven't already checked, you'll be surprised to see what the number one of everything is.
I've checked. I was surprised, actually.
Yeah. Subterranean Homesick Alien is like cloud rock.
Yeah.
Okay, the second half of OK Computer sucks. And this is what's going to get my wife to run down here and yell at me.
Jesus Christ, we're flinging takes on this.
Dude, everything after Fitter Happier except for Electioneering on OK Computer sucks.
You've now made enemies with my dad.
Oh man,
he really likes some
your dad.
OK Computer.
I mean,
also, Karma Police isn't great. I mean, it's fine, but whatever.
I'll allow that. Yeah.
Oh, I disagree. So I thought you were objecting. Good jobs.
No, I don't know. I like it, but it's not like it's not like a fave, I guess.
You don't like Patrick. You don't like No Surprises. This is the most RYM discussion.
Yeah, this is now the fact that we managed to make a Cloud Rap episode about fucking Radiohead is even worse.
Yeah, everyone stop listening.
Chopped and screw. We made a screw episode about Mark Kozilek. Now we made a Cloud Rap episode about Radiohead. Yeah,
we are so fucking
all time.
You screwed that up with Chop.
Where'd it go?
Yeah, No Surprises is cool, but like I feel like the album does fall off a cliff after Fitter Happier. I feel like structure-wise, it just kind of hits you over the head, and then the songs are much lesser on the second half. I think Electioneering is the best song on the second half.
Electioneering jams. That's a
song on this. No, Electioneering and No Surprises are the two good songs on the second half. Lucky's a pretty good song, but it's a dirge and it's a downer in its place.
Yeah.
And if you listen to Airbag, How Is My Driving, there are so many other songs that could have filled parts on this album.
Shout out to Meeting in an Aisle. Patrick.
Meeting in the Aisle could have just been like fucking. That could have been where instead of doing Fitter Happier, which is like it's cool, but it's spelling it out for you. It's like yelling at the listener. Like it's true blunt object shit. Which I get that it's like okay, it's the '90s, whatever, but you could have just had a nice instrumental interlude there.
And they did on Kid A, and people.
I was gonna say they did do that.
Yeah, they had three fingers. They had three fingers,
which is lovely.
Right.
Fingers.
I like
love that. Yeah, love that. Love that song.
So Patrick.
Yo.
What is the number one Cloud Rap everything on our
I don't know, because I misread the charts and then they gave me Radiohead. So
Oh yeah.
It's
that's
it
why
is
we
it
have
is
this.
it's
Yes.
JPEG 1539
Oh yeah,
North
it's
Calvert.
Devin Hendricks, right? Ghost Pop,
Yeah.
right?
No, it's a North Calvert.
It's North Calvert, 1539 North Calvert. Which is an incredible fucking song, by the way.
It's a lovely tune.
It's the best thing he's ever done, and that's probably like a casual take, but I seriously think
probably
it's
on the best cloud rap. Anything from my perspective is probably I'm God.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm not disagreeing. I meant
But
JPEG.
I'm saying what RYM says is yes, but I'm saying
I should have
probably
been
I'm God. And
Oh yeah, I don't think that song should be number one. I shouldn't even be close to number one. But I'm just saying that for JPEG specific, it's my favorite JPEG.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I have a favorite JPEG song, man. Like I like JPEG's projects as whole projects.
I can't say the title of my favorite JPEG song.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I can't wait till Morrissey fucking dies. But I just like to say that.
Oh, I can say that. Yeah, that's fine.
yeah.
I'm permitted to say that, I think.
Do you guys see that? And I agree with this distinction mostly. But do you guys see that the Kendrick song A.D.H.D has a cloud rap tag on it? One of the primaries is cloud rap. I mean, that is probably the cloudiest beat he's rapped over.
I don't know. Actually,
Money
to my vibe is kind of cloudy.
Yeah.
Not as cloudy as not as cloudy as ADHD, not even remotely close, in my opinion.
He also went over Never Catch Me. I mean, he went over Fly Low. But granted, that's Fly Low and like free jazz, like you're dead.
Yeah, that's pretty far. That's I feel like a lot of.
I guess I don't know. I think
ADHD has this really like it's pretty hazy and like kind of sort of ambient, kind of. It's still
it's like a spotty audio delicious type vibe, kind of.
Well, I mean, Kendrick's Outkast influences are pronounced, like obviously.
Yeah, true.
Sure. I feel
the Terror Gang single was way up there on the Cloud Rap chart, which is an amazing song. Glad that it is. So it has an insane rating right now. I think it's just because people haven't found it yet. That's good.
Yeah, the metalheads haven't found it and are like, this isn't technical death metal.
They're like, who is Spaceghostpurrp? Who is that? Mac Miller, the Star Room, is
the OG.
How do I get it to be top everything of all time? It makes me like, never mind. Sorry,
there you go.
I've never actually done it on my tablet with the new format, so.
Let me pull this up. I apologize for my clicking noises as I click.
All right, so we have 1539 North Calvert, which I agree with. A lot of Red Leaks and Beyond, which I agree with. Lil Ugly Mane, that's an interesting one.
It's a really nice song, but it never comes to mind for me. It never, like...
I mean, I think that it's... it's a great song.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I don't know. I kind of prefer Lil Ugly Mane, whatever, in like his rap mindset, like when he's doing the Sean Kemp stuff with Nicholas F, or on like Third Sided Tape, on the rappier stuff on that. Like that's kind of what I prefer. Or on Absence of Shit Person has a lot of really good rap. Like I kind of prefer his more straight ahead rap stuff. Actually, like I really appreciate when he does the genre explorations. I don't think he's bad at them, but I think that he's best when he sticks to like the Memphis rap lane. Like I think that ultimately that's where he's best.
I gotta say, you know what should be on here by him, but isn't because it was deleted as a single, is Stoop Lights. Stoop Lights should really be here.
We got Pissy Pamper did not get deleted again. Shout out to
don't bring that up now.
Don't tell anybody, but that
Diction,
probably technically should.
Don't do it, Diction.
He's not listening to this.
He does. I mean, I don't know.
If you are, hello. Hello, good sir.
Up, Alex.
Please don't delete it.
Please don't. Please don't.
Wyatt,
we've already discussed that this is the best song with the worst title.
Yeah.
Well, I always referred to it as Kid Cudi. Because to me,
even though he never mentions Kid Cudi, and we can't.
Yeah, he does.
We've already discussed on the show that like
he smokes dope like Kid Cudi.
Has to do with Kid Cudi.
Yeah,
kind of sounds a little like Kid Cudi on it, maybe.
No, he doesn't. But he mentions he doesn't at all. But he mentions Kid Cudi on the song.
And yeah, you're right. You're right. He does say Kid Cudi once, but
I don't know what
I think is really cloudy. I mean, like the beat is, but I don't think Earl's rapping is on it. Like the beat's absolutely cloud rap, but I think it's its own thing. Like I don't consider I don't like shit cloud rap.
No, I don't either. I like how
there is cloud rap in the beats. There's not in the rapping, I don't think. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't hear cloud rap on the record.
I kind of feel like you can rap anyway over cloud rap and have it be cloud rap as long as like the music is rooted in the style, personally.
I see what you're saying, but I feel like the way Earl raps on that album is too driven to be cloud rap. I feel like you have to have it like a bit of an not necessarily aimlessness, but like it's cloud rap, so it has to kind of float around the room. And Earl can float around the room. Like you listen to something like Between Friends or One Take off the Jet Age album. Like he can float around the room. He's not floating around the room on that album.
Yeah.
Even though the beats are cloudy, he is driven over those beats. So I don't think of it as a cloud rap album.
Yeah.
Excellent as it is.
I would agree with that. And I think while we're talking about milestone singles, I mean, Iced Out Castles, I think, is one that would come to mind for a lot of people. The DJ Smokey Black Kray track, which is an amazing track. Glad to see it's risen up. It's gotten a lot more ratings of late, so that's nice. Sunset by Lucki is high up there. Doesn't have that many ratings. Hopefully, people don't.
I'm going to listen to that. No.
You haven't heard it?
I've not heard that.
That's an amazing song. It's super ethereal.
Yeah. From this average and the title, like I do want to hear this for sure.
Yeah, it's a really Lucki sounds incredible over the beat. I mean, he sounds great over those type of beats anyway.
Yeah,
I guess one of the problems with the RYM algorithm is it does kind of skew towards certain artists. Because I'm getting a lot of Bladee, I'm getting a lot of Young Lean, I'm getting a lot of Lil Peep.
Yeah, Young Lean has number 2 on the charts with a like partially trance song, by the way.
Yeah, that's a
good song.
That song is crazy.
Yeah, I do love that song. It's just interesting.
That song is number 1 for 2016.
That's
actually really cool.
It took it from Radiohead. I love that.
Yeah,
that's
we
actually
got
really
to 80 before we got to Peso, and I think Peso is one of the defining songs of the movement. I'll be that pretty motherfucker. Harlem's what I'm rapping. Like that is such a fucking jam.
All right, so that song is I agree with you. Perfect. Do you guys like that song or What's Up? Which one do you like more?
Peso.
I agree, but I think the beat for What's Up is like one of my favorite Clams beats.
It is, but it just sounds better instrumental in that case. I feel like if that tape, I'm saying Leaf and Demons are the two for me personally.
Ooh.
I don't know. I think the way he flows over Peso is fucking narcotic. It goes very well. Like he flowed over that the same way he flowed over Goldie, which I think is an underrated song, and that was a single. Most beautiful.
I
feel like Rocky was in a mode at that point where he just was nailing this shit, and it sounded lazy, but there was effort behind it, and then there was shit that had effort behind it, but was actually lazy. That makes sense.
Yeah. Sounds kind of accurate, I'd say.
Yeah, because like the Rocky shit is good, and then the Rocky shit is mid, and then the Rocky shit is actively terrible, and it's just kind of like a fucking parabola that just turns into a fucking slalom. So,
I can't go a second longer without mentioning what's at number 15, which is one of my favorite songs of all time, hands down. Which I'm fairly sure you've not heard, Patrick.
But No, I don't even know this shit.
I honestly don't know if you'd like it, but yeah, this is probably like maybe like top 20 or something for me.
All right, well, we're gonna get some live reel to raw right now because it's going on the YouTube.
Uh-oh.
Chops, I want to ask you, what did you think about the Club Casualties album?
Oh, I love it. It's I think I was in a phase where I was just like, it was just like Lucy, all sorts of stuff from Lucy, and then when I fell out of the phase, it kind of fell a bit in my estimation. But there's some crazy stuff on there, like I don't know, stuff like Dance Partner is insane. Like Hits the Wall is beautiful. I don't know. Yeah, I love that album. It's a Magnifico. I'm big on Lucy for sure. What do you think of it?
I thought it was cool. I heard it earlier this year. I heard it like once, and I don't know. I wasn't like crazy about it, but I liked most of it. I think.
Yeah,
I have to give it a more in-depth listen.
That's fair. Anyone who's listening to the podcast, I got to say, if anything about Club Casualties...
By the way, I don't mean to cut you off, but it's fun. I like it. I listened to about half of it. It's fun. I like it. The video is super...
Oh, you missed
corny.
You missed the beat switch of the century. Well, no, I'm exaggerating, but yeah, I'm glad to hear it, for sure.
I mean, yeah, I guess you completely switched what the fuck you were talking about, so there's no...
No, I'm saying there's a... I'm just saying there's like a beat switch in the song that's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. Well,
you don't have to go back to it though for now. You can keep it moving.
Oh, he's like now he has to hear the beat switch.
It was literally right before the beat switch. Literally like 2 seconds before the beat switch.
I may have hyped it up a bit too much, but we'll see what he thinks.
Well, now I'm not surprised because you told me it was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the beat switch because I knew it was coming. Some jerk told me it was coming, but no, it's a cool song though. I like it. It's like fun. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite. Like, do you have some personal attachment to that? Like, it's cool. Like, I like it.
Yeah, it grew on me, and there's some like connection stuff. So that's
fair.
fair.
It's fun. Like, I mean, I have a personal connection to Wiz Khalifa featuring Empire on the Sun, Walking on a Dream. That's like objectively. I'm addicted to champagne.
Well, I'm just glad that I'm God is number one if you click like everything. So
is it what like songs, not singles?
It's all releases. So album, EP, mixtape, single, comp, unauthorized.
I'm gonna check this out really quick. I mean, I trust that that's accurate. Let me see.
Yeah.
So, are you a subscriber, Caleb?
I am not, which I guess makes me a filthy user according to Sharifi.
Yeah. You're a leech. You're not paying.
I am leeching.
I'm not either. I haven't subscribed.
Yeah, we're all there. I don't subscribe either.
Yeah. 3 leeches having a chat.
What do you think? I mean, Fetty is 17 overall, which is
3 Leeches is my favorite Robert Altman film. That's the most obscure joke I've ever made on this podcast.
That is, oh my god, gosh, I need to watch more Robert Altman. The stuff I've seen is amazing. I have to watch more. Yeah, Fetty is an incredible song.
Yeah, Fetty should be there. Fetty's
in the annals of like cloud rap, you know. That's a big.
Well, I mean, okay, so I don't want to get to Carti quite yet because I feel like Carti is the destination. So, main attraction again is what I said. I came to it from 808s and Dark Grapes 2. So was that you said that was what was the first one you heard? Lil B first. You heard God's Father. So we can talk about God's Father specifically.
Yeah, can do.
Yeah, that works.
You say you know it like the back of your hand.
I do. I did not do any homework on this, and I don't have to because, it's seared in the brain by now. That's a fact. I don't know. This to the point where I barely even know what to even like say about it. I mean, what a crazy intro this album has, like this tape has.
It's nuts. It's one of my favorites.
It's almost like world building. There's like a whole lot of like world building in
I
Lil
think this
B's
has one of the best covers of all time, by the way, where Lil B quotes Lil B. The gravity of this album.
And it's kind of true what he says, yeah. It's kind of, history has vindicated that quote, that's for sure. But this tape is bizarre in some places. It's beautiful in like a lot of places. I haven't really been able to find that much before or since that like scratches the itches that this does with tracks like fucking. I mean, for one, you've got probably one of like the hardest things he's done, I Own Swag, which isn't Cloud, but is pretty amazing. And then you've got like stuff like Flowers Rise. Like that's something I didn't know I wanted until I heard it. Like that kind of.
Yeah, I mean, look, like that song's crazy. I was gonna say, in terms of this is my favorite project that is like 2 hours long or longer.
Yeah,
you know
it's mine too. Actually, wait, I mean, not quite, but
it's not quite. We're a few minutes short.
No, I'm saying there's a certain 2 hour long live album that might edge past it a little bit. That's
don't
very
say
relevant.
slums. Don't say
no.
slums. No. Listen to this podcast.
Yeah, no. That was a phase, and that's long gone. Anyway, back to Godfather. Caleb, I got to ask you, what is like some of your favorite tracks on here?
Some of my favorite tracks on Godfather. I mean, I'm gonna be kind of predictable and say that the last track, I Love You, is really striking in how beautiful it is. I came back to. I always loved Godfather, and it was probably one of my 2 favorite Lil B projects, but I came back to it this year over the summer a couple times, and I bumped it to 5 stars, and I did because it just kind of takes you on and I know some reviews have said this, but it kind of takes you on a ride, and I feel like, as you know, painstakingly cliche as that is, it does kind of bring you through that full spectrum of emotion. I know that's what I think the ODB, as you can see, user, he said that in his review, which I would agree with. Yeah, that it's like
one of the best users, by the way. I hope to have him on the show.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, no, I've talked to him like in PMs a couple times. He's a decent guy. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, he seems like a chill guy. But yeah, I mean, it's something that there are tracks in here that don't sound like things Lil B's done before. There are tracks in here that sounds like classic Lil B. There are tracks on here that like sound like new things that Lil B is trying out and succeeding at. And then there are just like songs like you said, Words Not Spoken, right? Or I Love You. Like those tracks are really beautiful, and
there's a confidence and an assurance to the way he raps on this.
Yeah, for sure.
Like he's like rapping on.
When he wants to rap on this, he raps on this. Like there's like when he switches lanes on this, he's consciously switching lanes. It doesn't feel scattershot whatsoever. Yeah.
And he never gives up his like natural weirdness that's just in his soul, I think.
No, I feel like in the later shit, you can feel like he's kind of putting the weirdness on a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of come back to there's a skit on like a later Ghostface album where he says you got to put the ghost face on it. Like they call me to put the ghost face on it. Where it's like, okay, they kind of call you to like do your shtick. And maybe Lil B does his shtick sometimes. Yeah. His later releases, like he's just kind of going to be Lil B, do the weird ad libs, say something goofy, rap off beat. Like I don't feel like there's anything affected about this release whatsoever.
It's straight from the. It seriously feels like the only time I kind of want to say like, well, no, more than anything else he's done, in my opinion, this feels like a passion project. Like he just really actually wanted it to be the best it could be, instead of being like off the cuff in some ways, like a lot of his stuff can be.
Well, I mean, first of all, shout out to Keyboard Kid. I don't have the production credits at hand, but Keyboard Kid is his most important producer, even more than Clams. Keyboard Kid
Oh.
has sadly purged all of his shit from Bandcamp, but you can still go on Soul so you can find it if you want to. And yeah, like Keyboard Kid is amazing. He really kind of helped forge the bass sound. Like
Pat,
yo,
Pat, do you want to hear some really deep Lil B lore?
sure.
The secret, potentially, I don't know if this is true or not. There's been some like potential proof, but apparently, the song "I Love You," the closing track on this, might have been produced by JPEGMAFIA.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard rumor of that. I don't know if that was like trumped up after the fact, though. I have no confirmation on that.
It's something that could.
The thing about Peggy is that he's so internet savvy that you don't know. Like he makes his own rumors.
Oh, yeah, he's a Rap Game Aphex Twin, maybe.
Interesting.
In how his beats sound, but also because like I feel like half of the stuff about Aphex Twin is made up, but I think a lot of people think that. But anyway,
I mean, I think one of my favorite things about RYM is the dude who said that he had a music. I don't know if this dude made this up or not, but I've had a music history professor who was this out of touch who said that, and I think he looked at the one Aphex Twin cover and was like, "Oh, people just like him because he's a girl and he's hot."
Yeah, that rings a bell. I feel like I've said that, but that's amazing.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Peggy definitely got a lot of influence from Lil B in a lot of ways, production-wise and rap-wise, and sense of humor-wise.
Yeah, 100%. One thing that I do want to say about this tape specifically, I guess, but that song specifically, The Closer, is one thing that I do actually think is really special about Lil B. He is seriously one of the few musicians, like, period, who is actually able to, like, convince you he cares about you specifically. Like,
yes.
Not many people can achieve that. Like, in that song, it sounds like he actually, like, cares that you have a good night and have a good day, and what he says. I don't know.
I honestly felt that way about Kanye until recently.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
But yeah, Lil B, I feel like has that quality. I can't point to songs on this specific tape, but "My Arms Are the Brooklyn Bridge" is one song I feel like he's really reaching out.
Yeah.
No Black Person Is Ugly, which
came
out post Trayvon.
Yeah, beautiful song.
Had more resonance, obviously, again post George Floyd, because this is always going to keep fucking happening.
Yep. Well, he also released the George Floyd song.
Yeah.
I Am George Floyd.
I Am George Floyd, yeah.
I'm just looking at the track list for God's he goes over 3-6 Mafia and knocks it out of the park.
Well, I think another thing about Lil B with relation to cloud rap is one of the things about cloud rap is that it synthesizes influences from like ambient and Memphis and everything. Polyglot. And that's what Lil B did too. Is like, I love all this shit, and maybe I can't rap over all of it in the way that everybody else did, but I love it so much. I want to take all of this and make it sound as good as possible and spit my heart out over it. And at his best, it sounded like you would want to sound over it.
Yeah, I agree. He had like one foot in the old world of hip hop and one foot in the new one.
Right, because again, like you have like T-shirt and buttons. I always mention it, but it's like a perfect old school diss track.
Yeah.
But it's also a perfect new diss track in the way he disses him too.
Yeah. I would agree. Also, this album is really funny. Like, hey, Lil B, you got any adopted cats today? I got some.
Yo, shout out to Kiki, man. Damn, bro, I love Kiki.
Yeah, I may not listen to Lil B anymore, but this is always going to be personal.
I mean, I still kind of check for him. Like, I don't like actively seek it out, but whenever something shows up on my feed, I like download it and I eventually get to it. It's always pretty good. Like, he never fell off.
I have a friend who tells me that Hunchback of Based God is really good. I haven't listened to it, but shout out Trash Star.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Dra- Yeah, we gotta have them on. Yeah.
No, all his new shit is good. It's just too long. Also, no one ever needs rap acapellas, especially in 2020.
It's true.
We didn't need them in 1994.
I do. As someone who remixes music, I rather appreciate acapellas. Thank you very much.
Okay. I mean, no one needed the J fucking Black Album acapellas because that's how we got all those fucking shitty Black Album remixes. But yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of appreciate that, but like, I guess he's also kind of picking his classic shit to give acapellas of. Like, if you look at what he's giving acapellas of, so it's not that bad. I don't know, but like in the course of like 100-track tape, he throws it like track 50, track 60, so it's like no one's really there at that point.
Yeah, bad move. He should have just did it like 100 gigs and put it all in one place.
Yeah. He should.
I mean, I guess like that would be the ultimate RYM thing is like 100 gigs. Lil B tape.
Yeah, they would do it, and then people would tweet them about Footgate, and then they'd kick him off the song again. which, by the way, Footgate is the reason why I don't listen to Lil B anymore. But that's another story.
Shout out to Tails Feet.
Tails? What the Tails the Fox?
Yeah. Lil B.
Okay.
Yeah, that happened. It was
yeah.
Okay.
It was a distraction tactic from when he was stalking Billie Eilish.
Yeah, that's really a sus thing to say after Footgate. Like, should Chris Hansen investigate Lil B?
I think somebody should investigate Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
But more importantly, can you imagine a conversation between
Chris Hansen? Yeah, let's get wide on that. Get Violent J to sit down with Chris Hansen.
Yeah. Can you imagine a roundtable between Violent J, Lil B, and Chris Hansen? Like, imagine.
I mean, if we ever have a live show, that's what I want it to be: Violent J, Chris Hansen, and Lil B.
What a.
Well, like.
And Charles Hamilton.
Have that at Rolling Loud.
And Charles Hamilton, and I'll be in a Sonic suit.
Oh, yeah.
And Ryan will be Knuckles.
Shout out Ryan.
He's never listened to an episode beyond like 1 minute 30 seconds.
Number one fan.
He's like, what's all this music? This isn't Deftones. Click.
Yeah. Hey. You guys got any more thoughts on God's Father?
I'm looking at the track list. I like February's Confessions is a great song. Like, I'm just looking at it and like I like all the song titles I recognize, but the thing about it is it's so long that I have not listened to it in full like more than twice.
Yeah, I honestly find it very good. I got into it by shuffling it, so I recommend anyone listening who hasn't heard this, like, shuffle it. Just give it a shuffle. Put it on your
it's definitely more worthwhile than anything he's done later, although there are certain projects he's done that I think are underrated, like Obama Based God, I think is underrated.
Yeah.
I think the one that has My Arm to the Brooklyn Bridge on it, NYU on it. The Bass Print 2, No Need for Volume 1.
Glassface.
Glassface is great.
Album art, but it's cool. It's a good one.
Yeah.
I Forgive You has the creepiest album art ever.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, I'm just scrolling through.
Really? You don't think that creepy little bee head is creepy?
You're forgetting that Pink Flame exists.
That's like I don't know though. When you listen to Pink Flame, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, in a way.
As much as anything about Pink Flame makes sense.
It couldn't have any other cover than that. Yes, it's a fact.
Yeah, I think that Pink Flame is maybe the most true to Lil B being weird after he got popular.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever made it through the whole thing.
It's like, you've got like Twerk 56 or whatever that song is, and like, there's a lot of stuff on there that's aggressively weird, but I appreciate it. I don't know. We could do a Lil B episode eventually, but that would be so much work.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
Get Trash Star for that one.
True.
Yeah. True. Would any of us listen to the MySpace collection?
Ooh. Someone added the
hours
track.
in the day?
I would never listen to all of that. No.
All right, best Lil B release. You think
This
it's
one.
Godfather. This one. Yep.
Yeah.
Sixth Kiss.
That's my second favorite.
My second favorite is Glassface.
Oh, good. Interesting choice.
I would say probably Sixth Kiss, then either Obama Based God or the one I mentioned before with you. And then probably Godfather third, just because Godfather is such a content dump, and that kind of presages all the content dumps he would do afterwards, where he would stop trying to form mixtapes because there was a period where he was putting out like a lot of content, but he was still trying to form them into releases. And then eventually he was just like, here's 100 tracks.
Yeah. There's a reason I don't really go back to 05 fucking ever, but there's some tunes on there.
Him going over Toxicity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God! On his there's a recent one where he goes over "This Is America" called "This Is the Bass God."
That was an
amazing piece of music. I can't deny.
That was awesome. That one made me very happy. I gotta say.
And you've got the one where he's going over slow jams, but he's going like, "I'm gonna be a doctor."
Yes.
I feel like it didn't work out.
One of the things about Lil B that I love is that he loves the music so much that he mimics the flows so well.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he can't do any rapping, he'll still mimic the flow.
Yeah. And with that, I feel like that's probably Lil B under wraps, right?
So,
what do you guys want to move on to?
I mean, I think we can. I mean, I know we're talking about a lot of seminal albums and kind of the evolution through the years and how those albums kind of signify that. So I think, do we briefly touch on Live.Love.A AP and Main Attractions and stuff? I feel like that also is.
Live.Love.A AP is probably the most mainstream it got, I think.
Yeah.
I have people at work who are talking to me about Peso and shit.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. Even before his singles drop, Peso was hot in Lancaster.
Yeah.
Shout out Lancaster.
Yeah, shout out Lancaster, PA. They're not exactly the hotbed of hip hop, but still Peso made it out here.
Is that a place in America?
Yeah.
It sounds like it's from.
Have you ever seen M. Night Shyamalan's film The Village?
God, no.
Don't. But it was apparently based on it.
Okay. So,
yeah.
So Lancaster has something going for it.
No, it doesn't. But
it's about. I live about an hour, maybe an hour and a half from. I live in Philadelphia. He lives in.
You don't really live in Philadelphia.
I mean, my phone geotag says I live in Philadelphia, but I technically live just outside of the city. When I say just outside, I mean there's a hill that I live on. If you go down the hill, and take a left, you are in Philadelphia. So that's how close I am. But
it's if you looked around here and went out to the places people go out to for their social gatherings in 2012, you would not expect to hear A$AP Rocky songs. But when I went to my job at a hotel where people came to visit, people I worked with were talking about A$AP Rocky before his album dropped. That's how ubiquitous Peso was.
Wow.
That's how good it was. It was good. Yeah. And Spaceghostpurrp will tell you it's because he stole from Spaceghostpurrp.
Do we know what the sample is on Peso? Because it also appears in a Black Kray thing I was listening to.
Yeah. I definitely.
Are they both from a Space Ghost song, or what's up with that?
No, so the sample on it is
Are you talking about the vocal sample? This is the way it goes.
No, the little bell sound in the beat.
It's from the No One's Gonna Love You, the SOS band.
I'm not familiar, I'm afraid.
No, I'm not familiar with the song either, but I just saw the credits. But if you listen to the first few seconds of the song, that you'll hear that sound where it's like da 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 da, and then it drops in.
I was humming that just a couple hours ago when I got back from work. So
I mean,
If you go to the-
I'm gonna be humming gun. Like, actually, this was an idea I had for an RYM thread. Was worst songs to have in your head at work. Because I actually had "Suck It or Not" by Dipset stuck in my head all week.
Oh yeah.
And the original impetus for this was, the original thing I was going to cite was when I worked at Borders and I had "Violent Pornography" by System of a Down stuck in my head. Where it's like,
Jesus
everybody living now. Everybody fucks. Everybody sucks. And I'm just like humming this to myself, and then like some teacher comes up with their 3-year-olds. I'm like, I gotta stop singing this to myself, huh? So yeah, like I think that's a good topic, like because everybody's had songs in their head they can't be singing themselves in public.
Yeah, for sure. I know I've had a few. I just can't think. Probably something by Cemetery or something. Like,
it's the Cemetery ACAB song.
Caleb, how would you feel if you were at work with me and you just noticed I was humming to myself, "I keep some big knives in my toolbox"?
Dude, that was a really good accent.
Hey, thank you.
Actually, you know what? I have the most living off borrowed time thing ever. You know what I had in my head at work?
What's that?
Fucked cop. I fucked a cop. Who else here can say they fucked a cop? That's for everybody who listened to the ICP episode.
Oh, you also just Mrs. Officer. Mrs. Officer also in the.
Have you heard? No, have you? We're getting so off topic, but have you heard Lil Wayne? Kendrick. Have you heard Kendrick do his version of that song on C4?
C4. Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's so off pitch. It's amazing, and he like laughs at himself.
He also he covered. I'm using air quotes here, but he covered the Drake song "Controlla" in like an Instagram video or whatever, and he sounded like just like a drunk like uncle at like a wedding or something. It was great.
Not much of a worse than Drake sounding like a drunk kid trying to sound like he's Jamaican. So
yeah, it really wasn't that different. God, what a moment that was. But yeah, I guess I can direct us to. I mean, Live.Love.A AP. I mean, Kiss and Pink is an incredible song. I could talk about this tape, like actually, but I don't know how much you guys want to talk about it. But
it's a great tape.
I love it. I love the tape still. Like Rocky.
Yeah, you want to talk about Clams? Like Clams is a part of this tape. Like Clams is probably the biggest. Like I would say, part of this sound being ubiquitous is like Clams like made this sound. Like the way he made the samples sound good over these beats is what made it popular.
I mean, like even when it comes in like Palace, when Palace comes in, it just sounds like you're taking over the world. Yeah. Like it's just incredibly cinematic, and just like when Rocky's like, "God damn, how real is this?" Yeah. Like, I know the whole world gonna be feeling this. Like it's just so. It feels like he's arrived. And like,
I feel like the thing about cloud rap is that the instrumentals are so powerful, and the aesthetic is so like it surrounds you and just is that powerful that the emceeing doesn't matter so much, that you just need a powerful personality.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody like Lil B or Rocky is the perfect guy to like be in the driver's seat for that. And they're both in different ways, because like Lil B plays off emotions, and Rocky is somebody who specifically does not expect any emotion out of you. Like Lil B is somebody who plays upon you being really emotionally invested, whereas Rocky is like somebody who plays upon you not being emotionally invested.
Rocky is, I think his main function on a track is by and large to like kind of keep the party moving, and he does that really well. So
at his best, and I feel like that's lost recent, like in the past years.
Yeah, no one's like dancing at all to Testing, sadly.
No.
Like when he was like, "Oh man, you hear how he flipped that Moby sample? That's what's hot in the streets. Is that porcelain shit?"
Yeah. Praise the Lord is pretty big over here though.
Well, I was gonna say, you got Skepta on it. That must have been huge in the UK. That was a pretty big song here. I heard that song.
He got good features on that. Like and his features
killed him every single time on that album.
Yeah,
Except Kodak, maybe. But
well, Kodak was like calling from the bottom of a well.
yeah.
In prison,
In prison,
like he was
in
in
prison.
solitary confinement from the bottom of a prison well, and he still managed to like kill ASAP.
Damn.
One song he didn't even appear on.
Yeah, the ASAP shade is out. I mean, I would say it's somewhat justified shade for sure.
I mean, I actually like At Long Last better than most people, I would say, because like it's a cravenly like quote unquote artistic exploration album. It's like, oh yeah, let me get Flying Lotus on here, let me get like MIA on here.
Is Flying Lotus on there?
Flying Lotus does the beat on the Holy Ghost, I believe, or either Holy Ghost or Fine Wine. One of those.
God, fucking Joe Fox, Jesus Christ.
Oh, Joe Fox
man, Joe
was
Fox.
a bad choice. Joe Fox was like Milk and Anchorman, a bad choice. But
Dude, fuck Joe Fox.
It's a nice thing to do.
The thing is,
like
you also have the M's remix and Smuckers on that album. Two of the best songs ever. Like,
You mean
I love Smuckers. Like, Smuckers is so good.
You mean on the Tyler album?
Wait, Smuckers isn't. Oh yeah, no, Smuckers isn't on At Long Last.
I was gonna say I thought I was losing my mind for a second.
Oh no, but the M's remix is. But the M's remix is, and Wayne kills it on the M's remix.
The M's remix is incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, 100% for sure.
It was such.
I got my one good Wayne verse a year thing with Tyler confused on that. So.
Yeah, Tyler was that was cherry bomb. But I mean, the one good Wayne verse a year around that time was probably accurate. I don't know. I think when it comes to some of the other cloud rap milestones, I mean, main attractions. I mean,
oh yeah, 808s and Dark Grapes, the whole trilogy.
What else is there to say about Church that like hasn't been said? You know what I mean? Like,
goddamn, that's a.
Is that like the ideal like most beautiful like piano?
If you had to like summarize like cloud rap in just like one song, one sound, it probably would be Church for me. Like it just is like nails the genre on the head. I feel like.
Yeah, I just even the just like the way they're rapping and like the lyrics, like not only do they sound like they've made it, but they're just like. The whole concept of like I'm young as fuck, like that whole kind of like living life to the fullest, which I feel like is embodied by hip hop more than any other genre, but it's also embodied by cloud rap.
Well, I mean, I feel like it used to be embodied by by rock and roll, and then by punk rock, and then hip hop kind of took it over. It's just like a young person sound. It's just But yeah,
it's if you know, yeah.
808s and Dark Grapes 2, like Point Blank Period, is like the synthesis of like that was, like I said, the first really cloudy album that I gravitated towards. I fucking love everything about it. I think it's almost perfect. It doesn't need to lyrically be perfect. The flows on it are perfect. I think that it kind of hits that perfect balance between like the Lil B trying to hit you in the heart and the ASAP Rocky trying to have a good time.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah, very well put. I agree 100%.
I have this.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Charles.
It's okay. I was just gonna do a weird brag, but not brag, because I have this on vinyl, and every song skips. Every song like immediately starts glitching when I play it.
Well,
so.
That's like the opposite of a humble brag, because you're like, I have this nice thing and it sucks.
Yeah, exactly. It's acceptable for that reason, I guess. But no, this album is magnifico. I'm not going to say I love every single song, but what hits so good. I mean, you've got the opener, you've got fucking Mondre Mo Murder with that saxophone. Like, you've got That's Life. There's so much cool stuff. And Leaf reappears on here too. This feels like the natural home for Leaf. Like, it doesn't sound right on Live Love for me. Don't know if you guys agree with that or...
I never had a problem with it being on either tape. I think there are. I do like it on the Rocky tape. I think it comes at a good point in the mixtape.
Yeah.
Toward the end there, where that's kind of like the more like this. I'm using heavy like sarcasm, but like the more introspective side of the tape, where it's it's kind of wistful. Like it's got Houston Old Head on there. That's like a reminiscing song, and like I don't know. I think it comes at a good moment in the tape. So it never kind of.
Well, I like that you mentioned Houston on there because, again, I kind of like get like the Devin vibe off this. I get like the UGK One Day vibe off the instrumentals. Like I feel like that's kind of why there's a chopped and screwed version of this, and it's not done by anybody of any note. It's not done by Slim K. It's not done by it's not a slowed and reverb by Slater or anything. It's just. But Mishka put it out, and I think you can find it without too much looking. And it sounds really good. And I feel like not a lot of cloud rap has been given this treatment, and that's a shame because it really lends itself to this. And I feel like that's kind of what was like the transition to the Carti sound, I guess. And then you have the slowed and reverb that Slater has made so popular. And I don't think that I'm being out of pocket by saying Slater is the one who made that sound popular on YouTube. By having people having like the anime video, like the little anime GIF or whatever, and like load and reverb version of like Ghost Town or something. And
no, he was on that shit like 4 years ago. Like he was. I mean, and we know this because we were into him in like 2017, right? Something like that. So like, I remember seeing people on like social media platforms a couple years ago being like, it was like those memes where it's like, yeah, this is good, but have you listened to like Maria, I'm Drunk, Slowed and Reverbed? And it was like the Slater version. And that definitely popularized that shit. Like he created.
And I've said on this podcast that something like Astroworld didn't hit to me until I listened to it in the Slater version. And I feel like that seed was kind of sown in my head by listening to stuff like this, where it's kind of like the natural evolution of a screw tape. Like it's people who kind of found screw tapes on the internet. Like this is the first sort of internet babies of people finding screw tapes on the internet. I think like that's where this music came from. This is like street internet music almost.
No, I think that's an interesting. I also think that its influence went far beyond what maybe the artist even expected. Like, I don't think that. I mean, I've watched, and this is a good moment because you talked about how this music sounds so good, like chopped and screwed, and not a lot of cloud rap albums or mixtapes have gotten that treatment. I was giving that some thought, and I just thought of all the cloud rap that has gained some steam and has influenced things that came from Sweden, like that whole Swedish scene. And to me, that stuff is so cold and icy. Not all of it, but some of it is so like cold and icy. I wonder how that would sound. Like I couldn't imagine listening to like Young Lean or Echo 2K like chopped and screwed or anything. It's an interesting thought.
For fuck's sake, like where do you think? Like
no, well he said that him and that whole crew, like him and Bladee and Tyboy, all of them were listening to a lot of like Space Ghost around the turn of the decade.
I don't know if I can trust you though, because some people will listen to Bladee, but some will never be with a lady.
It's true. It's so true.
It's so true. It's so true. That person is me. Oh gosh, yeah, that's a fact. What was the other one? There were a couple of them in the.
I only remember that one. I was just waiting for the right time to drop that one.
That was a great. It was a well timed. It was a well timed moment.
Yeah, that was a surgical strike. But
it was motherfuckers listen to Bladee but not be with a lady.
You must have went into rapping knowing that name would create that pun one day.
I guess. I guess. I mean, I did. It was funny hearing because I heard it pronounced by somebody else, so I always knew it as Blade. But when Patrick said in the podcast, I'm gonna listen to like.
I knew this was gonna come up. I mean, I brought this on myself, but still.
I'm gonna listen to that Bladee tape. I was just like,
I say it Bladee. I say it Bladee with no shamey. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Wow. Oh well, I guess in terms of, this is a transition, amazing transitions that we do. But in terms of like seminal early to mid 2010 stuff, I think Chops, you would have more of a background in this. But like the Echo singles and the Drain singles around that time, like how do you think, you know, those compare?
We're just not trying to drain our topics too much because we're going to have discussion about this eventually.
True.
I don't know. My take on Drain Gang is Thai Boy's alright. Bladee isn't really my thing, and Echo is God, personally.
I mean, Echo's great. I'm spoiler alert. Echo is going to be my favorite when we have this when we do have the episode. Echo is the crew.
Mhm.
But
Patrick, have you heard E?
E?
His album from last year.
Not that I can recall off the top of my head. So probably.
Okay, I can't wait.
Only like you can check what I've cataloged. I've mainly listened to weird stuff like the instrumental tapes and stuff. Who's the guy? The fucking producer. He's like the fourth wheel.
White Armor.
Yeah.
White Armor. Yeah, he had a really good instrumental tape that I liked, but it's like something that I think was like a fan made job on Soulseek. But like I like his beats a lot. Actually, I think his beats are cool. They remind me of early Clams, kind of. But not as reliant on the sample source. Like he's kind of doing more with his own sort of, like he's kind of doing more with his own abilities versus just kind of playing a sample out and letting the sample's ambience carry it.
Yeah, for sure.
But he's still hitting the same emotional palette. Like that's the thing about like Clams could just find like the right Imogen Heap song and just like let that sample go. And no one ever thought to do that for a hip hop song before, and everybody thought that was brilliant. But really, it's just kind of like the same thing as Dre finding like a Parliament sample and being like, "Oh, hey, there's a bass line."
Yeah, for sure.
You're not really doing that much with it. You just found it.
Yeah, Imogen Heap is to cloud rap what James Brown is to like old school hip hop.
And when people find this podcast 20 years later as a fucking primary source document, we'll be geniuses.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean,
I'll be dead.
Jesus Christ. No, I think that's a good point. I was gonna say, I mean, you could, James Brown or like someone like Isaac Hayes, maybe something like that. Like, that's kind of how people use, or how Imogen Heap's like voice has been used. I was gonna say, in terms of other seminal cloud art projects, I mean, we just did. You'll be hearing this after the Black Kray episode comes out, but we just did Black Kray episode, and he has a couple of projects that are huge in the. I don't know if Patrick, you got to listen to those.
I downloaded them. I did not get to them, unfortunately, but I will. I know I'm late past on this. Sorry, Ghost, don't hit me. But yeah. No, those will be good. I'm interested to see how you think about those because I think he might take some getting used to for you. I don't know. Like, again, think about like some of my favorite rap. Like Danny Brown is a top 5 all-time rapper.
True. No, it's not, I don't think it's his voice. I just think it's like the bold and stuff especially is like it takes like some adjusting. I mean, it took me some adjusting. It's not what necessarily. I don't know what I expected going in, but when I heard his stuff about like, I think I heard it in like February or March this year, something like that. I didn't really.
It's weird, and I'm not trying to bring in my own personal life into this or anything, but I had a discussion with my wife about not admitting that I'm wrong. But musically, I think that I've been plenty because there was like I was looking at like talking about like Tyler stuff. I don't know in like past reviews, and I was like so shitting on Tyler. And now it's like I think of him as like a keystone artist who's been great. And I can admit that he's made shit, like when he's made a bad move, but I think that he's been really influential and has improved himself. And I can admit when artists turn around, I think.
That's always, sure. I think I've said this to you before, like either on here or in like, Discord messages, but I've always said to you, I really admired how you're, like you always got labeled as like you kind of give yourself the label of like sometimes like being the curmudgeon or whatever or being late to stuff, but you always like were super open to being like, oh yeah, like this thing that I gave like a 3 before, I actually want to give it like an 8 now. Like you're pretty flexible with like.
Oh, I mean, the Travis episode is like a living testament to that.
Yeah,
True. That's and the Lil Peep episode, which I think is a good segue.
Yeah, the Lil Peep episode to a lesser extent because there's some stuff on that I wasn't as well read on that I was kind of talking out my ass on. But overall, like I was trying to make a greater statement that I was wrong on him in general. But there were specific projects that I really liked, like Witchblade 2, Hellboy. I was way too harsh on, etc. So, but yeah, I do like to think that I revisit stuff when I was initially too harsh on it. But if I'm initially too harsh on something that still sucks, like Joyner Lucas, I actually thought, like, initially I gave Joyner Lucas "I'm Not Racist" a 3.5.
Oh yeah, and then you
and now I wanted to fucking swallow glass for doing that. Like, fuck myself. Seriously.
Mm-hmm. Well,
did Aaron Sorkin write that? Like, give me a fucking break. Like,
hey man, it's good that you saw the initial error in your ways. In terms of, I'm doing hard transitions because I do want to just go through some big singles, but like the Peep songs that are.
Did you say gym class or four gold
See, that was my question. Is which Peep song with like that's an obvious cloud rap song like would you guys pick? Because I think gym class is like, I don't know.
Yeah,
gym class is
gym class. I would say gym class.
Yeah, gym class is like crushingly sad.
Yeah. Oh my god. I mean, also you could also argue California World, the first track off California Girl.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's so good.
It's the haziest thing he's rapped over. It sounds like the music video for it is like completely like very like staticky and like old VHS like, and that's what the song sounds like to me. Even the way his voice is like buried in the mix. It's really
depressing to me how he really started to find out what he sounded good over, and then
yeah. It is really.
Because I feel like for a while he was just kind of fumbling around with other people's aesthetics, and then he finally figured himself out.
Well, I think that happened in between the time when he was doing like cloud rap and then like the really pop punk stuff. Because
I think he sounded
the cloudier stuff
though, actually. Like, I actually like him over the pop punk stuff, and I think that's why I get so mad about the Machine Gun Kelly approximations of it. Because it seems very craven, just like somebody on his team heard that and was like, hey, man, like, the kid liked this. Do this. And then Machine Gun Kelly comes out with some pale-ass imitation. And it sounds
how do you do fellow kids music?
Yeah, exactly. Steve Buscemi and a fucking, like, American Apparel tee in the fucking, like, hallway. Like, fuck out of here. Like,
gosh. MGK. Crazy.
God, fuck him. Like, MGK is definitely worse than all the people we shit on. He's worse than J. Cole. He's worse than Logic. MGK is trash.
Is he worse than Eminem? Like,
yeah,
modern...
yeah, 100%. 100%, dude. MGK is like... MGK is like... We talk industry plants. Like, there are people that we shit on for fun. Like, we shit on Wale. We shit on Logic. But, like, MGK and Joyner Lucas, those are people who are, like, fucking, like, paid shills.
Yeah. Yes, I don't have much in the way of an MGK defense. I'll tell you that. I could not be me.
Like, why is this dude making fucking like All-American Reject songs in 2020? Is that what's popping in the streets?
I hope not. I don't think so.
You'll get me a cheesecake, bitch.
Oh gosh. Fucking MGK.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Like, even somebody like Wale or Logic, I feel like they make sincerely terrible music, but at least they're still kind of like following some sort of template that's like true to themselves. Whereas somebody like MGK or Joyner Lucas, and I think with Joyner Lucas it's trickier because I feel like he's selling himself as like real hip hop. MGK is worse because he is a chameleon who just wants to sell shit. MGK is worse.
Yeah, he's definitely bottom tier.
Right, MGK is a fucking like bottom feeding parasite, and Joyner Lucas is just like kind of lame.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree with that.
I don't want to listen to any of their music. All these people I listen to never want to listen to any of your fucking music. Some of you guys are like a little more admirable than the rest of you guys, but all y'all suck. So,
Wow.
My closing thought on the Peep cloud rap like singles is even though it's kind of like it's I think emo rap primary, but Cobain is another like perfect song.
Cobain's great. Cobain's really good. Also Lil Tracy is a sad case too. Lil Tracy.
Yeah, I mean, he's no longer. I wouldn't even like. He's kind of a mediocre artist now anyway. Like he was really good, but not lately. He's been and outside of art, it's been Ugh.
I mean, I'm saying this without irony. You don't like to see it.
No, you don't. There is no. You actually hate it. I hate it.
Speaking of somebody who saw him, like the YouTube video of him playing at Peeps Memorial, you actually really don't like to see this shit in his career.
No, you don't. It's sad. It's sad for the people it happened to, and it's just sad for the career. But yeah, I mean, just in a lot of these, cloud rap singles, I don't want to ruin it because a lot of them are tied to a lot of the Drain stuff. So we're going to talk about that in a different episode.
Right. Like that's the problem is that there's like a big time gap. Like essentially we have like the 2010 to 2012 cloud rap boom, and then it fell off, and then we have the Drain Gang like resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
We also have, I guess, this is what we're going to wrap up with, is the Carti resurgence as well. Mm. And I kind of resisted calling Carti cloud rap at first, but then I re-listened to, like, in the past 2 days, I re-listened to the past two Carti albums. I guess it is cloud rap. In the way that cloud rap is like a malleable thing, like Carti kind of took trap and cloud rap and kind of merged them, I guess. Like, and the thing about it is, Location and Magnolia are two incredibly perfect songs.
Mm. Yes. I don't even know how it really doesn't get much better. Like they're so beautiful. Like you listen to Location, and when the beat first comes in, it's literally, I mean, it's ascending music. It's like it's taking an elevator.
I listened to it and I was like, when is he gonna start rapping? And like, I'm pretty sure I said that in the chat. Like somebody sent me that, probably the first host of the podcast, and I was like, this is cool. When's he gonna start rapping? And then I kept listening to it, and I'm like, I don't care when he starts rapping. I don't care what he's doing. This is great. And then I eventually just listened to the mixtape, and I'm like, I don't care if this is rapping or not. It's great. And it's just like, that's kind of how cloud rap was. It's kind of how it was with Lil B too, where it was like, originally I was like, this is just something funny to laugh at, or, I don't know what he's doing, but then I like the instrumentals. I like the vibe. It's a vibe. And then It's a Vibe becomes, its music becomes, it's my favorite music.
Yeah. And that's kind of, it's funny. That's kind of how I would describe cloud rap and its impact on me and like my listening. Like just over the course of my like familiarity with it for the last like 7 years or so, I'd say.
Mm. Yeah, that process is happening to me with Dialect at the moment because I gave it like 1.5 stars back in the day.
God damn it!
Yep.
Sorry. That was an instinctive reaction.
I'm gaining my senses, don't worry. I
didn't realize we had battered Sphinx on this podcast right
now. I don't know. It's like a slow process of growing on me because I always liked the self-titled from the jump. I don't know. I used to think like
you like the self-titled from the jump, but Dialect was not good for you.
It like sounded kind of unfinished, and like I was getting like diminishing returns from like Carti, kind of. But I don't know. Kind of there's certain things on that album I can't really deny, like the intro, like Poke It Out, like Middle of Summer, like the fucking beat to Fell in Love. It's gorgeous.
Oh my god.
That's the best. The intro is one of the most powerful things I've ever heard.
I
That is like
that is like something about the way his flow hits with that beat is just it hits different. Like there's no other way to describe it.
that is like
just the lyric, like just to feel like this. It's like a long time. Like there's so much in that, and
it's
exactly.
the most with the least. Like
it means nothing, but it means everything. It really does.
Like it probably meant nothing when he said it, but you can invest everything in what he said when you listen to it.
Because when when you listen to that song, to me, it doesn't matter how shitty things are, like, it gives you this feeling that I can't even describe, and then you kind of inject that, like, just to feel like this. It took a long time. Like, yeah, it did, you know. And that's like, Dial It was a hugely, I mean, I've spoken about this before, but Dial It was and the self-title were both like hugely important albums, like, to me, in not only the year that they came out, but then like just beyond, like especially beyond.
I mean, Dial It, especially as a whole album, has stuck with me. Like, I have listened to it, specifically the Slater slowed and reverb version, because I think it sounds better that way, but even the original is great. And just, like, I was just going around work being like, notice me, I hope they notice me, notice me. People already thought I was fucking crazy.
Patrick,
who wants to notice you? Like, yeah, I notice you.
God, I hope they notice me.
Did he say it in like the way Cardi says it?
Yes.
It sounds like notice is spelled like NOTISH.
There were like 7 W's in notice. And an H.
And an H, yeah. Yeah, dude, I love Mileage is a song that I fucking adore.
Yeah.
And of course, I've mentioned on this podcast before, Flatbed Freestyle, one of the best flows ever that never gets credit. Like, the way he flows on that is... And Poke It Out is, like, the best Nicki Minaj verse since Monster.
Poke It Out, like, the beat real quick. I always imagine that, like, everything in that song happening in, like, a fucking wind tunnel for some reason. Like, one of those places people train to parachute in. I don't know why.
Dude.
I imagine
it's like everyone's like flying through the breeze.
I feel like it's probably the echo effect on, like, that's how that, it's like the echo effect. Poke it out. Like, the poke it out, like, kind of sounds like it's echoing backwards when they say poke it out.
And when that synth fucking comes in, because the beat's so, like, tightly woven, it's like the doop doop doop, and then the, like, doo 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 kind of thing coming in certain parts, just, like, widens the whole thing right up, and I fucking love that synth part.
I just like Nicki does like the FaceTime thing like 4 times, and I don't care. I was like, yeah, it's like,
just stays with the great lines.
Yeah,
it's such a good song. You don't care that Nicki Minaj doesn't care about rapping on it.
Yeah,
no, but I feel like that's kind of why it works so well, is because she's just kind of flowing, and it like doesn't really.
Kind of like R.I.P. is an amazing song. You don't care that it's like super misogynistic.
Yeah. I mean,
well, here's the thing. Yes, I agree, but also I think that like some of it, like, he's just kind of saying shit is my take, because I don't think.
So he's saying gibberish when he's not saying misogynistic shit. Is your argument why it's misogynist?
Like, I'm not gonna cape for the lyrics. I love the song, but I do think that like I don't know. I know the line you're talking about, and it's not great. I don't like it.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Especially because it slightly bleeds into real life.
Yeah,
it's really a jarring transition. That's my big problem.
Yeah. Well, also the way Lean for Real comes on is the hardest shit. Like that, like maniacal laugh in the background with like the ad libs.
Also, one of the things this album doesn't get credit for is it's one of the best, like, aside from like Triple X and Mad Villainy, one of the best vocal produced albums I've ever heard, like in terms of ad libs and like layering the vocals. Just like the way his flow sounds on everything. I'm on the beans for real. I'm on this lean for real. Like,
you get that on like
the way he flows over everything. Like, you are on his fucking wavelength every second of this album.
Yeah.
It's just like he took what you liked about Location and Magnolia and made it an album.
Yeah, and I think this is an interesting contrast to the self-titled because, and I know that other people have said this too, but the self-titled is like, I mean, to me, it's one of my favorite like summer albums. It's a very, it has a much different feel than this album, which feels like a little bit more nocturnal and a little more like good in cold
It's
weather.
darker. I would
Yeah.
say that a good analog to this is like Lamar season with Young Nudy.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
would say that's like a brighter one. Like that's kind of
True.
an analog to the first Carti.
Yeah, that's a good point because I mean Pierre's beats kind of have that feel of like 2017 like Pierre, where and like the songs like Extendo or Sunflower Seeds, like songs like that
I
kind of
feel
have
like
that
there's
warm.
a brighter palette to the stuff on Lamar that represents the stuff he was doing with Carti earlier, whereas the stuff on Carti with the Dial-It and on a whole lot of Red Leaks is darker. And who knows where he's going? The thing is with Carti, no one knows where all we have to go off of where Carti's going is at Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say that again, sir.
Anna.
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 Speaking Cantonese.
That was the
Jeez.
sound of Lucy pulling away the football. Anna.
I was on the Dial-It topic as well. I don't know how much you guys have played like Love Hurts like with good speakers. Does that low end just absolutely knock on that song, or is that just me? Like
That's
the
actually
way
one of my least favorites.
Yeah, you don't like the way the beat is, or you don't like the performance on
Does
it.
it drown out?
Kinda
I like
both.
how it drowns out. I actually like how it drowns out the vocals on that.
I like how it's got like a big gruff kind of rumble in the bass.
Yeah.
That is probably the one thing I like about it.
You're not a fan. Well, it does. It's in an interesting
I
part.
don't think you like this album as much, Chops. Like, it sounds like you're kind of...
Yeah. Because Subtitled is consistent right the way through to me, but like this one has stuff like Home KOD where I don't get that still, personally. And there's a couple
I just get it
stuff like
front
that.
to back from this album, man. Like, I don't know. Like, it's
That's
just when it kicks in,
Loads of
I
people
ain't
do.
got this shit for a long time. Like, it just hits me like when Danny Brown says 30 on Triple X. Like, I get it from this.
Yeah, I
And
think.
that's high praise from me for Playboi Carti to equate to Danny Brown on Triple X.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I am really glad Dial-It is like in such high estimation for so many people. And
That's a really pandering thing for you to say, by the way.
No, I really do genuinely enjoy that this album is like as big as it is, and Carti in general. Like, I'm glad that I'm really glad this is embraced.
Something I expected. I didn't expect it, like for it to get this sort of status.
It's weird that it did, though. Like, it is
Yeah,
weird.
I have a weird relationship with RYM's relationship.
I mean, I kind of feel like it kind of got ironic appreciation, though.
I agree, which is part of my weird relationship with RYM's relationship with it.
Yeah, it's kind of got that like.
It's like the one it's okay to
sort of status.
Yeah, it's like it's okay to like this one, guys. Like
It's the cool trap album,
right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But Caleb, I have a hypothetical for you.
Sure.
So have you heard the Wolf of Peachtree, the one with Jelly?
Yes, love that. Love that.
Great album.
Patrick,
you know the way. Okay. So both of you know the way that the like beats transitions so seamlessly.
It's like one long song. Right?
Morph right in.
That's
Can you
how
imagine?
Pierre does it? Yeah.
Can you imagine Pierre doing an album for Carti where it transitions like that? I feel like that would be like the 10 out of 10, personally.
No, I don't think Pierre needs that. I mean, I don't think Carti needs that. I think Carti needs the hard transitions.
Fair enough, yeah.
I think what is interesting though is that Pierre has done that with, not Pierre, an analog to me with the Wolf of Peachtree is the 21 and Metro tapes, not necessarily Savage Mode 2, but Savage Mode 1 and Without Warning, where not every song ran into each other, but like Without Warning, you had like My Choppa runs into Nightmare, and like Nightmare runs into like Mad Stalkers, and it's like it kind of becomes like that one song. And
well, I mean, I think that Metro
those albums are
has the same sort of chemistry with Savage that Carti has with, I think Carti has with
right. Pierre, I agree. I was just meaning it in the jelly.
But in terms of transitions, I think that Carti benefits more from fluid transitions, whereas somebody like Savage can benefit from like a harsh transition because he can deal with having like a feature on his shit, whereas Carti is more like he can deal with like more of a psychedelic sort of fluid album.
Yeah,
and I think on
Wolf of Peachtree is a completely different thing because that's a really limited local rapper. He's good, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a good album. That's a really good album.
Yeah,
and everybody should check that out. But it's like Pierre's carrying that with his beats, and it's like a good local dude doing like decent shit. But
it sounds like
you wouldn't argue that's like better than decent rapping, right?
I wouldn't even say it's like his best beats per se. It's just the way they're like treated. There is some good ones, like some really good ones.
It's best fit.
Yeah, it's true. I can't deny. Like, and some of the beats on Dial-It smoke it in some ways. So,
I mean my comparison, like
Dial-It's. I think Dial-It's an all-timer, dude. I think Dial-It's probably a 10.
It's gonna go down that way. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just bumped it to a 3.5, by the way, and that's probably still too low. But
all right. Well, just to land the plane real quick, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm kind of landing it early, but
yeah, I think there's plenty of stuff we didn't cover.
What didn't we cover? Like, what didn't we cover?
I mean, a lot of the stuff we didn't cover is stuff that is probably saved for another episode. Like, I listened to Crack Clouds, but by Black Kray.
Yeah, I mean, I want to do Black Kray later. Like, we'll do Black Kray later.
I guess because we might as well do, because we already, I mean, I would want to hear your opinion on like some of the Kray stuff, Chops. Like, what'd you think? Because how much Kray have you listened to previously?
Just Ice Cream and Mac 10s and Crack Clouds. That's it.
Oh, interesting.
I don't have like. I don't have much in the way of opinions. Crack Clouds. A lot of it is not my thing, but the highlights are really cool. Like Hydrocodone is fucking insane, and I don't know what kind of like Crystal Castle sample that is or whatever the fuck, but it's just wild shit. And Daydream is a highlight too. I don't remember much about Ice Cream yet, I'm afraid.
Yeah, outside of
all I got.
Do you like I mean, what do you think about like? I'm looking at the big stuff, like the lean singles, like Ginseng, Strip, and Kyoto, like the big lean single stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Kyoto.
I mean, Kyoto is like that's what sold me on lean. Like again, I have a fully formed negative opinion based upon what our initial host told me about him, and then but yeah, like I come back to Drain Gang afterwards, and there's something to be seen there. Kyoto was the song that told me there was something of value there. So
yeah, for sure.
Chops, was your I'm just referring because you brought this up in like the seminal like albums thing. Is Ice Dancer like your non-Echo project of choice for Drain?
I don't know, because that honestly, I don't know if I even like it as much as like Legendary Member, but I don't know. I find Ice Dancer interesting. It's so fucking made for like songs to blow up on TikTok. Like, obviously, the big one, "Be Nice to Me," is like a melody that I feel like they just like plucked out of the air. Like, I can't believe someone didn't get to that melody first.
Yeah, it's a beautiful melody.
Yeah, and there's like some other songs I like. I think probably favorite is like Side to Side, but then it's also like kind of hit or miss on the whole, and Bladee's not my main thing anyway, so yeah,
I love that you keep calling him Bladee, by the way.
Yeah, he spelled it that way. I'm gonna say it that way. His fault.
I do think it's funny that as well. Do you think because there are, I guess, tying up Carti as well, some of the early Carti singles like Young Zen, how like those
oh yeah, love it,
those those singles I think are some people still hold that up as like his best. Like, what do you guys think of like the In Abundance? Like,
It's his weirdest, and I like it for that. But I've got like a slimmed down playlist of like 14 tracks. I put it in the comment box already, I think, and that playlist does me fine. I love them specific songs, which does include Young Zan and Fetty for sure.
Right, and like Talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, the original specifically,
or the remix. Which one do you like more?
I think the original, because it's such like a nighttime vibe. It's like I don't know, like anything added to it would be taking away from the effect. For me, it's like such a perfect for what it's going for. It's perfect.
Yeah, the original's crazy. So is the remix. Like they're both.
Remix is pretty cool too. Yeah.
Yeah, they're both cool, really cool songs. I mean, I think in terms of where Cloud Rap is now, I think is a good point to land the plane to Patrick's.
Well, I would think I'm going to take the plane away from you and crash it into a fucking mountain and ask that what would you guys say is the one essential Cloud Rap release of any genre of any time period, the one that people should listen to? Godfather, 808s and Grapes 2, whatever, Die Lit, which one? Somebody who just is a hip hop casual listener, something they like Illmatic, they like, Biggie, they like fucking Jay-Z, they want to hear something, they Cloud Rap, they've heard about this, it's cool, they've heard about it on Spotify. What do they want to listen to? Which one would you give them?
Okay. I would have said Godfather, but I mean, I feel like maybe not for that specific demographic.
I will say a single. I will say Birth of Rap. Because I think that is a easy entry point into getting what makes the genre so great, while also hearing a pioneer and hearing more prototypical, like traditional rap structure or song over it, like it can still, if you're a traditionalist, I think it's a little easier to wade into than even I'm God, which doesn't really have like, it's a tiny bit more like scattershot. I mean, that doesn't make it any less credible, but I think Birth of Rap, it's a little more like you can follow Lil B, and you like really like all of his lyrics are, very transparent, and it's more just like an easy thing to wade into first. And I think that kind of song is way easier than like a Carti or anything, anything Drain related, anything now. I mean, God knows I wouldn't play. I wouldn't play like RCB for anybody now or something like that.
No, no, sir.
So, maybe Peso would be another song to give somebody, but yeah, I would say Birth of Rap.
I really am stumped. Like, I really am having a hard time thinking of what exactly would like. If it's the demographic you said, I really don't know. I mean, if it's just like any random music listener, just of any type of person ever, I probably would say Godfather, just because it does sum up like everything about the genre to me. I feel like without any of the without any of the like more modern weirdness you get now, even though it's still weird. Yeah, I don't know. For like an older demographic, probably something off Live Love, like Demons, maybe. I don't know. Because it's like classy, it's smooth, it's hooky. Like Demons is really hooky with that chorus, I think. Probably that, I guess.
I guess I would say Clams Instrumental 2, because I think that encapsulates all of his best sounds that don't ask you to listen to people rapping about stuff, and you listen to it and you're like, this sounds cool. And then you could maybe play them so people rapping shit about shit over it, and they're like, I liked what I heard previously. Like, I liked the music, and then you could play them, some people saying shit over it, and they might listen to it.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. I would maybe say instrumentals one, but honestly, either one, like, for sure.
I think I would probably, I'd give them, or the Relics thing that just came out, because I think a song like Motivation, which is a amazing fucking song.
Oh yeah,
is I think a song like Motivation, like it has kind of like those drum breaks, but it's like it has like a celebratory feel. I mean, it literally is. Patrick said this in a review before, but it literally is motivation. It's like it's like mainlining like adrenaline.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's not around that I can see anymore. But Keyboard Kid had a release called Bass Soul, where it was I don't think any of these were on any popular releases, but it was just kind of like drawn out, like jazzy sort of cloudy stuff, and it's awesome. And if you can find me on Soulseek, I have it. So that's the best sort of direction I can give you. But yeah, like seriously, seek this sort of music out. This is great shit. It's really motivating, and it's motivated a lot of the best music you hear right now. It motivated a lot of the good melodies you're hearing right now. Like the whole aesthetic that's going on right now has been formed by this shit. So yeah, sure. Chops, it's been great having you on.
Wow, thank you for having me.
Have you on again.
It's a genuine joy. A joy to be on here.
Yeah, we really appreciate you coming on, and I think it's really cool to have your perspective too, just being from across the pond, and kind of how you've connected with this music.
And yet another white person to come on this podcast, full of white people,
and a long list,
white people talking about hip hop, exclusively white people, the only white experts of Makami. We are living off borrowed time. We are the only white podcast talking about Makami. And our outro music is Stagnated Pace by Can Kick. See you next week.
It ain't gonna never stop. 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 It ain't gonna never stop.
Time is yet to be conquered by man, but when the time is right, perhaps the greatest revelation of all time will dawn upon us.